What if I told you there was a way to instantly double your SMS response rates, build trust with every message, and completely bypass A2P registration headaches? I'm about to show you guys exactly how high-ticket businesses are doing this today with us. Welcome back, guys. My name is Dean with Project Blue, and I'm going to do a demo for you guys, Project Blue, how easy it is to get set up. For those of you guys that don't know, Project Blue is a game-changing integration into your CRM that's revolutionizing how companies and businesses communicate with their leads and customers. So here's the problem. Traditional SMS systems, they're broken. You're stuck with generic short codes, ugly marketing messages that look like spam. And, every other week you're just you get hit with A2P registration, you get hit with Twilio restrictions, whatever that may look like. And, even worse, your messages just look like every other marketing text out there. Except now you can actually send, what if there was a way to essentially send these iMessages, not from your iPhone, but directly from your CRM with automations? Or maybe you're sending these iMessages, already from your iPhone, which works, but it doesn't really scale, and it gives you zero analytics, no automation. You're going to be sitting there sending texts late at night anytime the lead opts in. So Project Blue solves this by letting you send iMessages at scale directly out of your CRM. It's a very, very plug and play process. That means that every, message you send out of your CRM comes out with a nice looking chat bubble, looking like it came from a personal number rather than say a marketing blast or a, political marketing campaign. And for those of you guys, me personally, whenever I get a message from someone that I don't, whether it's someone I don't know or someone that I'm not expecting, I typically check if it's green or not. And if it's blue, I pretty much just, respond from there. I always think, is this a friend or a family? Makes a lot of sense there. But you're probably wondering, why does it matter so much? Well, it's simple. The trust equals conversions. When your prospects, leads, customers, when they see that blue iMessage, their brain immediately thinks, okay, this is personal. This is important. As I just mentioned, they're not hitting, they're not deleting the message like they would with a traditional SMS, traditional green message. They're actually reading it and responding. That's why our clients, typically in the high ticket area, whether they're on real estate teams, health companies, marketing agencies, coaches, they're seeing really high response rates, nearly double to what their traditional, status quo is with SMS. We're talking about going from nearly anywhere from maybe 15 to 30% to 35 to 45% higher response rates, coming near that 80% mark. So imagine what that can do with your business if you just quickly crunch the numbers. And here's the kicker. This works really, really well with automation. When you can send these personalized texts, timely iMessage triggered by specific automations in your funnel, you're hitting prospects exactly at the right moment with the exact right message. So I'm going to show you guys a demo of how this works, how easy it is to set up, show you some workflow automations that we use personally at our business to book these, and which you'll actually see if you go through our funnel. So you can even demo it out if you're interested. Of course, I'd love if you schedule a call, but yeah, you can actually see all this information here. Yeah, let's just jump into it. And you're probably thinking, this is complicated to set up. Actually, it's very, very easy. It's quite the opposite. We do all of the hard work, the lift, getting the lines for you, the area codes you register, we onboard you with the automations, get you access to our platform to view analytics. All of it is a very, very white glove process. So let's dive into it. I'd love to show you guys. All right, guys. So now that we're in our in the CRM, I'm going to show you guys just these features with Highlevel. We integrate with other platforms just as seamlessly as this, such as with Hubspot, Enclosed, all having these automations similar to what you're about to see. But Highlevel does offer the most extensive automations just with their, it's a big key feature of their platform. So I've gone ahead and loaded CRM, and this is from the agency level account. So for example, this would be, for you, whether, it'd be outside of your sub account. Alrighty. So you can see we have our own public app that you can actually install, and we can see all the different actions it gives access to, as well as just a little bit more info about us. And it's really simple to install. So pretty much, I've gone ahead and graded out here, but pretty much you can literally just select the different sub accounts you want to install this into. It could be, if you guys want to get lines with us, you can only use one line for one account. However, with that being said, if you have multiple lines, you can install them across multiple sub accounts, and you can always move them around depending on the volume. Let's say you want to change something, but very simple. You would just select the one or many accounts you want to install it on, click continue, and then, it would just go ahead and install. Now, I've already gone ahead and installed this, but I'll just show you guys now. We'll go into the actual sub account. So this is kind of like the actual CRM, if you will. Once you install it, you can go, if you go to your phone numbers in your, in the sub account settings, and then in the advanced settings, you can choose to switch over the provider fully to us. Now, what this will do essentially is make the, anywhere that you may see SMS through the platform, it's basically using our provider, which does work. However, just keep in mind, if this is the selected option, that you won't have access to the lead connector to send and receive messages from. Lead connector being like their, white label version of like a Twilio, for example. So does that make sense? So Some companies choose to fully transition over to us, some just keep it here. And then we also have custom workflows that you'll see. So you can use them both, side by side if you want to do. Some companies may want to keep their lines with Twilio, also, their SMS lines with Twilio, also, or with Lead Connector, also using our iMessage line. So you'll kind of see the difference. It's totally up to you. You can switch them back and forth. But for demonstration purposes, I've gone ahead and switched it. So what I'll be showing first in the Conversations tab, I'm just here in the contacts, but the same thing persists for the conversation window here, just a two-way sync. So I'll demo you guys kind of sending a couple texts back and forth and, between me and myself, and as well as a voice memo, just to show you guys a feature, what it looks like, and how easy it is to send. So here I've just gone ahead and sent, hey, how's it going? And if we just go over to, my iMessage window here, you can see that I get the actual contact card, as well as you can see it's sent as iMessage. And of course, we're not going to see the blue chat bubble until we reply. This is just an Apple thing, but I'll just send a response back and say, hey man, long time no see. And you can see the blue chat bubble. Let me get rid of this little contact share here, but you can see it I sent over. And if I actually go back to the contact window or the conversation window, you can see it's logged here. I can even like messages, and reactions are also going to populate. Of course, it's not going to have that nice looking UI, but it will look like this. Yeah, guys, so you can see it's really instantaneous. I wanted to kind of demo that key piece here, switching back and forth between the windows. But I'll go ahead and actually send a voice memo. Hey, this is a voice memo test. And I'll just go ahead and upload a file. I'm going to upload it from my system, not from the media library. Yeah, I'll just go ahead and send it. So you can see it's uploaded here. Send. It's going to pen for a little bit until it's sent. But once that is sent, we will see it populate here. I'll just have my window open, and you can see here, we'll get it in a few short moments. One thing I'd like to also point out as well is you can see the actual attachment that's sent. So in case you have automations or something firing, you can see that here, or say other users send something, you can easily download it from the CRM here. But you should see we should get a message here anytime soon, and there we go. So we can actually see the message here with the voice memo, and I'll go on, it's Gavin, and play this here. Just thought I'd reach out one more time via a voice memo if you're interested in sending voice memos and blue messages like this from your CRM without opt-out. So you can see, you can create obviously different voice memos for different campaigns you want, depending on the demographic. And we're also creating a feature as well to have AI generated voice memos. So you can create kind of very customized and personalized voice memos that you might not get traditionally. So that way you could send it to say a list of 10, 20 people, and you could use their first name, the dynamic variables that come with that. So yeah, guys, this just shows you the possibilities of this and how easy it is to get set up. And again, one thing to show you guys as well, we can use the different conversation providers here as well. Since I set the default to mine, I'm using this SMS, but we can also use this if we want to use the traditional Twilio provider as well. So, or the Lead Connector option as well, if you want to use kind of both lines side by side. Now, they will come from different lines if you do that. So, obviously we recommend just persisting kind of one provider throughout the whole conversation. So it's pretty straightforward. And obviously we can set it up on our end or in the web app. So, different reps can have different lines, different user assignments. Say you have setters and closers, and you want to have different lines between the two, which is very important. A lot of companies have asked us to do that. But let's go ahead and actually jump into the automations. This is where it's really going to shine. These features, kind of these new, marketing channel features combined with the automations is really where this gets powerful, and how you can kind of unlock a whole new system, altogether. So, and I'm actually going to show you guys automations that we use personally at Project Blue, just to show you guys the power of this. So yeah, let's go ahead and jump into that. So guys, I've started a completely new canvas, new scratch canvas here that we'll build onto. But obviously, this can be integrated into your existing automations, which we help with as part of the kind of onboarding process. So let's just rename this Project Blue Tests. And yeah, guys, again, once you install the app, very straightforward. If you've ever used the automations feature in Highlevel, it's very easy to get in tune with this, with the actions that we have. And again, this is going to be very similar as well with Hubspot and other CRMs. Kind of the same issue persists, with a trigger, the way our workflow actions work, and so on. So let's just go ahead and create a simple one. We'll just call this send iMessage. And you can see here, we just put the contact. This is a dynamic value of the contact's phone. This can also be accessed here. We always just recommend using the raw phone number so it exports nicely, but really straightforward. So you can use, you can just type the content here. You can say, hey, this is an automation. You can even use you can use the dynamic fields just as you normally would with the automations. And, here I've added the first name. We can also do other things such as sending, which we'll get into as well, but we can send voice memos and different media attachments, which, again, this is really where the power kind of comes into play. But I'll go ahead and save this real quick, and let's just go ahead and test it out. So just so you guys know, let me just add my name here. So I've gone ahead and added it. I'll go ahead and run it. And you can even see it in the workflow actions that it'll be processing. So again, guys, very native integration. That's kind of what we were going for here. But in the builder, just while we wait for this, so we can see, we can, this was the text content that I added, but again, you can make this completely personalized with other dynamic fields that you have access to. And all this is coming from iMessage. So you can see really the power of this, how this comes. And anytime now, we should get the actual message here as well in my iMessage canvas. Again, this is just the desktop app. But of course, if you're looking at this from the, from your iPhone, you'll see it in the actual, nice conversation window that you're familiar with. But you can see that we got the message from the automation. And just to show you guys, if you actually go back to the conversation, back to my contact, we can actually see that it was sent here from the automation as well, which looks a little bit different as it has this icon. But yeah, so this, any messages sent from the automations will be added to the conversation window. So that was a very basic flow. We can create more complex flows, really as complex as you want. We can attach voice memos as you would. We can also attach media attachments, which is really cool, which I'll just show you guys here. I'll select a video from my desktop here, but, obviously we can send images. But one thing, I really wanted to show you guys the video feature, which just makes it kind of very interesting. So I'll just add a video of our sales demo. This is, I'll say, hey, check out our new product release, but you can see kind of how you can utilize this, but you can see very simple, just uploaded the MP4 file. I'll go ahead and save that, and we'll run another test contact flow with myself here. I want to show you guys because we haven't seen this, but if we just go ahead and run that test, it will process and it'll get sent over, which I'll show you guys. But yeah, that's kind of the idea there, guys. Very straightforward. We can add different triggers to these. So say we want to have it like when a new contact is created, a new tag is added, whether through a specific funnel or not, wherever that may be. So you can see kind of the power of this as this kind of stacks up. One thing I'll also like to point out as well is that we have an auto fallback to SMS. So what I mean by this is when you, when you send a message via SMS or via, or you put, say contact through this flow and their device isn't supported with iMessage, we have an SMS fallback basically automatically in our backend where it'll send that SMS message. So, and in the event that you guys don't want to do that, we also have our own workflow action to support this. So we can actually check the iMessage of the recipient that you're sending to and see whether it's compatible. Now, the use case of this, guys, would be, if you want to, maybe you want to have different flows for SMS users. Maybe you want to use lead connector, so you can create like a very simple if then, and we can see here, we can select it to available, or if the recipient's iMessage is true, we can send them this. If not, we can do like the traditional send SMS if you want. In this case, it would be like, let's say you want to use your Twilio line. So that same idea persists, but we'll go ahead back here to our conversation window. Now we can actually see the video that was received here. You can see that the video was sent like, real time. I think this video was compressed a little bit, so it's not as, HD/quality as we'd like, but the same idea persists here. So, whatever videos you want to send, intro videos, onboarding videos, you can do it directly, which is just really cool. Even if it's like a sales-led video, something like this that we got. So yeah, guys, all of that's pretty much done there. And yeah, you guys saw the voice memo. One thing I did want to show as well is I'll just delete this kind of flow and we can start it from here. We also have the option to select lines. So we can create like splits, for example. We can add, let's add another one. We'll make this 60, 20, 20. So we had 3 paths, and basically this workflow action works a little bit differently, but this is kind of how we can lead or kind of round robin between multiple lines. So let's say your company wants to purchase 3 lines with us, right? Or multiple lines. So basically what we can do from this drop down is select these multiple lines. They can, send messages, and you can select the line here. I'll say this is line 1, and we'll just go ahead and save this, and we can copy this over here to path B, and then we can select the other line. So this is kind of how you get a choice to select which lines you want. So, and how you can have this set is like basically depending, you could either do a random split, you could, you could have it so, you could have it if then, for example, maybe if you want to have like certain, leads assigned, you could do like you can check the assigned user, basically on the if then, or if you wanted to create like an if else, I'll just go ahead and delete this here. But let's say you wanted to create like an if else and check on the contacts, signed user, for example. Let's say you assigned reps by their user, and you can select who that user is, and you can create multiple branches, obviously, and create those lead assignments from there. So this is kind of how you can create that conditional lead routing. And one thing to note as well is if it uses that message, if it uses that line, all the messages moving forward will come from that line as well. So hopefully that makes sense, guys. Again, just wanted to show you guys the power of this. You can get very, very complex. I'll even show you guys some workflows that we have ourselves. One last thing I forgot to mention as well is the analytics dashboard that you get access to. So this is just another way for you to get, a little bit more streamlined analytics, a little bit of a, high level overview of the message campaigns that you send. So just as a look, so we can see the total messages sent, how many of it sent was, or how many messages sent was with the iMessage, how many was with just traditional SMS. We can see their responses, the response rate. We can even see it broken out by day, the iMessage to SMS ratio, and, for outbound messages. And we can also see just the number of inbounds. And then if we actually scroll down, we can also see it on a device level as well. So why this might be useful is maybe you may have certain devices or lines, tied to, different accounts, different sub-accounts. Maybe you're an agency and you're listing some for different accounts, and you can kind of see those corresponding here, the different response rates associated with those. And it's really cool. You can select different date ranges, just to see the distribution, which days sent a lot. You can select, you have a nice simple date selector here. And we also plan to introduce a lot more analytics in the platform as well, just to a lot more streamlined analytics. But other KPIs, kind of destination limits. But you can also, if you come into the lines, you can also see, when they've last been active, or if they've never been active at all. You can see you can set up the call forwarding here. So if you want to forward your lines when they call on an iMessage number to a number in your CRM, you can do that. You can easily come and rename them. Really straightforward. And then you can see the different integrations we build. It's pretty straightforward, guys. I am on the admin mode here, which yours would look a little bit different, but yeah, I mean, this analytics dashboard, we plan to really kind of expand the intricacies of it and make it just more useful, depending on the different types of messages / campaigns you send. And we're also adding support for inbound messages, which will be in another video, but this will be really cool. We'll have with our ASAM and whatnot that you can embed onto your site. So yeah, guys, if you're interested in, sending, blue messages out of your CRM directly, and you want to get set up with a line, get started right away, just head over to our site and book a call with us. You can just start opting in with your phone number and go through a couple questions. And on the call, we'll decide if this is the right solution for you. If this isn't, it's very streamlined to get set up. You can read kind of more about it, kind of the integrations and our service here. But if you guys are interested, again, just book a call. Even if you're not, maybe you might know someone that is right for this. We also have an affiliate service as well, or referral, where you'd make 20% of that. So yeah, guys, again, if you have any questions, just book a demo with us, and I'd be happy to speak with you guys. So thank you.